Defense intelligence of Ukraine reports retaking the Vovchansk aggregate plant from Russian occupiers. Russia strikes Kharkiv with guided aerial bombs, killing at least 4 and injuring 36 civilians. Ukraine takes part in the UN Security Council meeting, saying Moscow is preparing to strike its nuclear power plants.
Vladimir Putin, we know who you are.
Hi, I'm Zhenia Melnyk and this is United 24 Media. The Defense Intelligence of Ukraine reports retaking the Vovchansk aggregate plant from Russian occupiers. On September 24th, the DIU press service posted combat footage along with this announcement on their Telegram channel. The factory was breached and cleared by Ukrainian intelligence units alongside Belarusian and Russian volunteer corps. The Ukrainian defenders eliminated the Russian troops in close-quarter combat, taking prisoners for the exchange fund along the way. The Vovchansk aggregate plant plays a key role on the front line due to its proximity to Kharkiv city. Its enormous territory consists of 30 buildings and was turned into a propaganda stronghold by the occupying elite Russian forces, such as the infamous 45th Guards Spetsnaz Brigade, noted the DIU press service. The plant was founded in 1970 and was manufacturing hydraulics and aviation machinery before the full-scale war, but today is a thorn in the side of the Russian ongoing war of aggression, stated the Institute for the Study of War. Russia hit Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia with guided aerial bombs, injuring 7 people on September 24th, reported the State Emergency Service on its Telegram channel. Apartment buildings and cars in the residential area of the city were damaged. As of now, the rescue operation has finished. President Zelenskyy addressed the UN at the Summit of the Future in New York on September 23rd. In his speech, also published on his Telegram channel, Zelenskyy urged world leaders to support Ukraine for a just and peaceful future.
And I say this as the president of Ukraine, a country resisting Russia's brutal colonial aggression. And we know exactly how much global unity can achieve both here at the UN and through the peace summits for Ukraine, where we aim to overcome the destructiveness of Russia and its accomplices.
The president of Ukraine arrived at the United Nations to participate in General Assembly High-Level Week. Zelenskyy met with foreign leaders to discuss the pressing matters of the peace formula, which will be presented at the second peace summit. These include the release of prisoners of war and restoration of territorial integrity. The summit is set to be held before the US presidential elections, reports Bloomberg.
I invite all leaders' nations to continue supporting our joint efforts for a just and peaceful future. Putin has stolen much already, but he will never steal the world's future, I'm sure. Thank you. Slava Ukraini.
To follow the latest news from Ukraine, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Russian forces struck Kharkiv with 2 guided aerial bombs on September 24th, hitting a residential building which killed at least 3 people and injured 36, reports the regional governor Oleg Senegubov. 17 of them are hospitalized and 4 of them are in critical condition. The youngest wounded civilian was 17 years old, while the oldest was 87. One of the high-rises was hit directly as the bomb left a gaping hole in the building, he added on his Telegram page. Sappers disposed of a Russian FAB-500 aerial bomb found undetonated in the Zaporizhzhia region. Footage was released on September 24th, showing the hazardous work of a Ukrainian demining unit. Local residents found the bomb lying on the ground in the brush and called the State Emergency Service, stated one of the sappers. He also noted the difficulty of disposing of such ordnance, which comes from the self-destruct mechanism embedded in the bomb that could set it off within 5 days. Since the bomb was found near a residential area, sappers decided to detonate it immediately. The FAB-500 is a Soviet-era general-purpose airdrop bomb. The F in the name comes from the fugass charge embedded in its 500-kilogram payload. It is designed to target fortified strongholds, railroad tracks, bunkers and buildings. Usually it's dropped from a designated fighter bomber jet and is unguided. However, Russians have since modernized the bomb with a UMPK, a Unified Gliding and Correction Module Kit, which has transformed it into a glide bomb. This allows Moscow to terrorize the civilian populations of Kharkiv and Zaporizhzhia, which were previously out of range of these bombs. A Russian warship fired a warning shot at a Norwegian fishing boat in the Arctic Ocean. The incident occurred on September 12th in the Barents Sea off Norway's northern coast. The small fishing boat was radioed with an instruction to leave the area immediately by the Russian anti-submarine warfare destroyer Admiral Levchenko. After the radio call, the Russian destroyer fired a warning shot at the fishermen and barreled towards them. The civilian vessel quickly sailed away. A spokesperson for the Norwegian Joint Headquarters confirmed the incident to local media, stressing that the shot was fired, but it was not warning. The Russian warship was participating in the Ocean 24 joint military exercises Moscow was holding with Beijing in the beginning of September. Ukraine is taking part in the UN Security Council meeting, saying Moscow is preparing to strike its nuclear power plants. President Zelenskyy warned the council, which convened on September 24th, that Kyiv has obtained proof of Russian plans to hit nuclear energy sites across Ukraine.
As we near the sword winter of this war, Russia is once again trying to destroy our energy system, and this fall they are being even more cynical. They are preparing to target our nuclear power plants, 3 of them. We have this information, and we have proof of this.
The UN Security Council discussed the ongoing developments on the war in Ukraine, with Russia receiving unsanctioned support from worldwide dictatorships, noted US State Secretary Antony Blinken.
Iran has been providing armed drones to the Kremlin since 2022. It built a drone factory in Russia. Just a few weeks ago, it transferred hundreds of short-range ballistic missiles to Russia. And Tehran has trained Russian military personnel in Iran how to operate these weapons. Meanwhile, the DPRK has delivered trainloads of weapons and ammunition to Russia, including ballistic missiles, launchers, and millions of artillery rounds. Support from Tehran and Pyongyang is helping Putin inflict carnage, suffering, and ruin on innocent Ukrainian men, women, and children.
Among other remarks aimed at Russia, United Kingdom's Foreign Secretary David Lammy told the Council that he knows imperialism when he sees it, and he will call it out for what it is.
Vladimir Putin, when you fire missiles into Ukraine hospitals, we know who you are. When you send mercenaries into African countries, we know who you are. When you murder opponents in European cities, we know who you are. Your invasion is in your own interests, yours alone, to expand your mafia state into a mafia empire.
In other news, the defense intelligence of Ukraine, along with filmmakers from Babylon 13, most of whom serve in the armed forces of Ukraine now, are releasing the documentary Summertime in Ukraine, dedicated to fighters of the International Legion of DIU. The full-length documentary will be released in movie theaters this fall. Join us as we watch the trailer and check out our description down below for more information.
East Coast, United States.
Originally, I'm from California.
California, USA. West Coast, Washington, in the US.
I'm from New Hampshire.
I'm from Arizona. Those who served in Afghanistan, Iraq, do you want everything you thought you knew about war? Stop thinking that.
This is it for today. We are United 24 Media. Thank you for being with us and see you on Friday.